Okay, go ahead and start this one too. Oh, all right. It looks like I am live now on both YouTube and in Instagram. Ooh, so I'm just gonna sit here for a minute and let the people that I told about this maybe show up for a second. I'm not gonna worry too much about it though, because obviously this is gonna be recorded and people can always go back and watch it. Um, so let's see. It's pretty hot outside today. Let's see. Hold on. Wait. I'm getting a little message. Yeah. All right. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, nope, nope, nope. Boom. Okay. Anyway. All right. So, so I'm back. I'm back again today. I decided to take a little moment break to get myself together and fix out all this live stream stuff that I'm working on here with the YouTube. Took me a minute, but I got it straightened out now, so it's officially going. I'm very excited about it. My first live stream, even though the sad thing is I can't even see the chat. It's like over there because I don't have a webcam on my computer, so I had to buy a webcam. And I really hope people can even hear me. Oh boy! So I guess we'll find out, won't we? All right, so I'm going to go over some of the stuff here on Instagram Live as well as my YouTube. But at some point, I am going to turn off the live for Instagram and just focus on the YouTube one because I don't know. I just feel a little safer over there in the YouTube one for some reason. I don't know why. So I'm probably going to share a little bit more of some of the details of the things I'm going to go over on the YouTube. So if you want to follow me on that after I finish up here, you can just find me on YouTube as Aurora Diamond Heart. And if you could, please subscribe to my channel because I'm trying to get my numbers up there, and I would really appreciate it. So I'm back to talk a little bit more about who I am again and how I came to discover that. Because really, the most important mission I think people have here on the planet right now is to really work to remember who they are and to remember what they came here to learn and to experience. Because otherwise, if you don't remember those things, how are you going to accomplish that? Like, you get stuck in these loops and stuff, living the same patterns and the same programs and just living what's comfortable from moment to moment because, life gives you all this distractions. They give you so many distractions. So it's really easy to just fall into, well, I'll do it another day. I'll do it another time. Oh, yeah, you know what? I'm going to make a list. I'm going to get to that. I'm going to think about that at another point. I'll take up that meditation. Oh, I can't yet. I can't because I got all this stuff. I have children and I got to get dinner done and, things of that nature, and I get that. I get that. I struggle with it too. I do. But I notice such a huge difference between when I don't take time to sit down and just quiet my mind and just let thoughts of God flow through me. That when I don't have that, life just becomes unbearable for me. And so that's why I feel like a lot of people just don't know that that is really the case if they're not in a state of regularly with discipline doing these things. Because I didn't even, like I said, like I mentioned before, like I started off with the Course in Miracles, okay, anyway, I started off with that, and it taught me how to start slowly making time for myself. Like I said, with a minute a day. Like a lot of the lessons at the beginning are a minute a day, and or even less than that. They tell you if it's making you too uncomfortable, like don't push past that because eventually you are going to retrain your brain, okay, into recognizing the difference between what feels good and what doesn't. And it's kind of like, okay, this body is just kind of like you're a child that your higher self is kind of in charge of taking care of. And so, yeah, sometimes that the body, it's going to want to fight that. So I don't want to do that. I just want to lay around, like I don't want to do those exercises. I don't want to. I don't want to have to eat good foods and stuff like that. But you pay the price for it with how it with what you're depriving yourself of the opportunity of experiencing deeper and richer levels of love and joy and meaning in your own life. You know, so when you start making yourself do these things and you start realizing the benefits of it and how it makes you feel, there's like the reward of it. You know, because that's really what it's about. It's about training the body to recognize, hey, you know, when you do this, it feels good. You know, because and it's healthy for you. You know, like hey, you know, like okay. So anyway, let's keep going. Okay, so what I wanted to do, okay, I took this class, these classes, quite a few classes over the past couple of years. One of the main people that I was going to, her name is the Earth Star Healer, and so I'm going to start a little bit with that today. And you know, she had us do all these journaling exercises during the classes and stuff like that. And one of them, I just want to just offer up the suggestion to anyone, you know, like writing things does make a difference. It does. There's some part of the brain and your heart and intentions that literally it makes a different kind of connection when you write it down. And I really thank her for teaching me, you know, and showing me these tools that I could start beginning to create the life that I really who I was. I started uncovering who I really was by taking the time to really think about it and write down like, well, what would I be? What would I want? And she said, you know, don't even worry. No one else has to see this journal. No one else ever has to see what you write down. But you know what? For one, you should take a moment and just really ask yourself, like, what would make me most happy? What if I could live my wildest dreams about who I am and what I do? What would I write? What would I pick? You know? And so I wrote down some things, and I'm going to share a little bit of it with you here today. And one of the things that I want to, because you know, we talk about the ascended masters and stuff a lot, and how we're all basically kind of walking that path to try and reach that in our own soul's fulfillment, so to speak, I guess. And so I asked myself, you know, if I could be a master of something, what would I be a master of? And I decided that I would want to be a master of intention. Oh, hi there, everyone. I see you guys. Nice to see you. And hi, everyone in YouTube. Oh, wait, it's right there. Okay, hi, everyone in YouTube too. Hopefully you can hear me. I don't know. I don't know. So anyway, the thing I would want to be was the master of intentions, a master of intentions, and a master of the dream space. That was what I would want to be. I said to myself, and I really began to look at the reasons why I chose that, and I really think that it's because there were so many times in my life that I was praying to God for certain things, and come to find out later on that the intentions behind it were something I wasn't even aware of. Like, and I think that's true for a lot of people is when they have these desires or things that they want, they don't stop and ask themselves, like, well, why do you want it? You know, like, what is the deeper intention behind it? You know, and a lot of times, you know, you come up with a thing. It usually comes in layers. You know, well, I want it because of this. You know, well, stop and look again and see what's underneath that. And most of the time, that usually comes back. I find that it usually comes back to people just really wanting to know what true love is, what true love really feels like, what it feels like to love themselves, and to feel accepted by others. And so when I first, okay, so I kind of went into my soul braid experience a little bit, okay, but you know, it took a long time. It took many years for that process to really unfold itself to me as to what had really happened, you know, and gosh, am I okay? Yeah. So when I first got when I first kind of got here, this is what's going to sound so crazy. And it's so hard for me to explain to people, you know, because like I shared with you guys before, like Cassandra, her heart had died. Okay, like, and I happened to synchronistically find like explanations. It was crazy. It was the craziest thing. This is how I know that I can tell this story to people because, you know, God made sure to back up and give me confirmations for things that confirmed for me and made me feel secure enough and being brave enough to accept who I was and then to share it with people. Like that is really what happened. Once I started uncovering who I was, and I would think, okay, well, am I this? You know, you guys maybe give me some signs, give me some clues that I'm on the right track. And that's how I always feel like I know when I'm on the right track, is because all of those signs and those synchronicities will come. And sometimes it's just like, oh, so many. Okay, I get it. I get it. I get it. Get it. You know, like got it. So if you really start to do that, and if you really make it your real intention, okay, to want to know who you really are, and you think you have something, okay, and then you just ask them, you know, just like, is this true, you know? So I had all these synchronicities that showed up with Lisa Renee's work. I don't know if anyone is familiar with that, but it turned out that she had a whole section of information on something called the Black Heart, Black Mind, and the Anubian Black Heart, which, you know, it's such a sad thing to think and talk about, you know, but it needs to be talked about because so many people just aren't aware that of the things that go into creating that, and that is really what the Matrix wants to do to starseeds who have a special type of heart in this world, a purity of heart and innocence, you know, and they want to crush it, and they do their best, and sometimes they are successful, and in my case, they were, you know. And I invite any of you guys to please, you know, go ahead and Google it on your own, the Anubian Black Heart, and see what it says, and click on the little tab that explains all the little nuances of how that's created, because our hearts are really the most precious thing in this whole world. And people don't even know it, and they don't even teach that. They don't even teach that to the children, like how very special and important the heart's true feelings are, and letting it ring with true love, you know, and true joy. And what happens when we get traumatized by the world is that it starts to gather around the heart as like the black goo, as a stone that starts to form. It also could be called dead light miasms, I think is what I remember reading. And so yeah, it's the traumas, that it's the things that we don't clear, the feelings we don't allow ourselves to have, that just sit there around the heart and stagnate the heart, and then it can't ring anymore, because really that's what the heart is. It's a bell. It's actually a bell that releases it has a frequency. It rings, you know. And they want to stop that heart from being able to release that frequency of love and joy and source creation, because if so many of us are able to do that, and we start to realize, like, oh wait, we actually, our hearts are powerful, and if we start to follow them, you know, we can really change the world. And so that's why they've kept this a secret for so long from people, because they've been using that to their own advantage, and they've been using it with their distorted, twisted desires, you know, of creating the chaos that we've seen go on for so long. And you know, I'm just really here. I want to be a sign that it's done. It's ending. It's ending now. You know, that those days are over, and it's going to take all of us to do it. Patiently waiting for every single person, if possible, or at least enough of us to reach that hundredth monkey effect. It's going to take enough of us where we're like, you know what? It's time to choose peace. It's time to choose peace in every moment. It's time to choose peace inside of ourselves. It's time to find a way to make peace inside of ourselves, because it has to start from within. Once you take something and you have that inside of you, it will automatically, the world has to shift around you in order to accommodate this new frequency. Okay? Which everything is frequency. Everything everything is frequency. Words are frequencies. You know, I can see words sometimes. I can see them in colors. I can see letters in colors, and then when you put the letters together, it changes. It makes it kind of a rainbow effect and stuff. And that's why words are so important, and picking the right words, because they all have a certain frequency with them. You know, so when you speak those words, you're actually creating things. When you take the time to actually speak words, especially, you know, with an activated heart, like that's words of power. That's what words of power are. Like that's why we have to be so careful with the words we choose, even for about ourselves, especially about ourselves. You have to be careful what you say to yourself. Like I tried to say before, that inner critic, you know, I know it's a hard one to come to terms with. You know, I fight mine still. It's like a dance that you have to do, that you have to really realize that that's the mind virus. That's the mind virus. Because really, you're a being of love, and you were meant to exist in a state where you feel in love all the time. You were meant to exist in a state where you create in love all the time. Which brings me to another point. Manifesting. Word manifesting. I have a hard time with this word. And the teacher Z at Star Academy or whatever, she actually brought up a good point about manifesting. And so it kind of still, so even though I use it interchangeably, I really look at it more as creating and being someone who's a creator. I'm taking responsibility for my creatorhood. Okay. And so manifesting, because see, I heard some people, the reason I bring it up is because I came along a video of some people talking about human design and how human design, some people just aren't manifestors, some people are generators and such. And I'm not a manifester according to human design, but I have manifested. I mean, like, so this is how I look at it, because you can manifest things even if you're not a manifester, I believe, in human design, because it still requires, for me, like I have to, according to my human design, I am supposed to wait until I get the feeling. And I have to wait for it to come to me. And then I take the action. You know what it does? You know what that does? It teaches you patience. It really teaches patience, that one. And I'm an investigator too, so I'm like, I have to go out there, and I'm never satisfied with them only confirming things once for me. Like, I'm always like, you guys are gonna have to lay it on me thick, that. Like, I'm not, like, make me feel like really secure in this, like, and they do. They just, here you go, take all of these good signs, and now you can keep going, Cassandra, keep going. Okay, I will. So anyway, back to my point, manifesting and creating. So I don't really, I look at it as creating. I look at it as drawing from my connection to God, and asking and allowing that to flow through me to create the things that my heart wants to see in the world. These are the experiences I came to see. I came to see other people experience joy and love and feel loved and be loved. That's a huge part to me. I came here to make dreams come true. I came here to help people figure out, hey, guess what? Oh, that would never happen. Oh, yeah, that would be really nice if I could have those things, but that would never happen. And I'm here to tell you that actually, no, it can happen. It can happen. There's a lot of things we can make happen, but it's actually always been our own belief that it can't happen that stops us from letting it happen. That's really it. It's our own limiting belief thinking that, and it's not something to overcome easy. It's not an easy thing. So even though I say this, like, I know it's not an easy thing. It took me a long time, okay, of tiny little creation things, tiny little things. Okay. Okay, and they're making me bring up this other point real quick, because creation is about, like when a tree is blooming, okay, when a tree is growing, it doesn't think, oh, I'm going to manifest these leaves. I want to manifest these beautiful flowers. Like, I'm going to create. I'm going to create this, and so that's what I've been trying to do. I've been trying to create more beauty in the world. So back to what now? Can we get back to what I was originally saying? Okay. Yeah. Can it come back? Oh, come back? No. Give me a second. Oh, you know what? I actually did make a little bit of notes today. So let's see if I can go back to that. Okay. So I don't even know if this is still on topic or not. I really don't know. Anyway, I made a little video the other day, even on TikTok. I wanted to go over telepathy for people, because being someone who soul braided with what looked like a kind of reptilian being, which I'm pretty sure it was a hybrid of some sort that was reptilian. Okay. Well, they're very highly telepathic. Not only that, but there's some other versions of me that have clicked in here too that they are also highly telepathic. So I had to really figure out even what that was, and I come to figure out, and this is how I explain it to people because I am highly telepathic. And for me, how other people's messages come in, communicating wise, is that it comes in the heart. It comes as a feeling in the heart, like a package, like a gift that you have to open. Okay, and then when you open that gift, okay, what it will do is it will connect to experiences and things that you are aware of, things that should be like TV shows you've come across, songs that you've heard. Sometimes they like to take a clip of a song and they'll just repeat that clip until I realize, oh, they're repeating this this lyric. I better pay attention to that, you know. And so but sometimes it takes a while to even figure out, like, well, where's this message coming from? You know, like I'm getting this message, but I don't know where it's coming from. Is this my feeling? Is this mine, or is this your feeling? I can't tell you how many times I would have this feeling. Oh my gosh, I got this feeling. Oh man, I'm thinking about this person. Oh my gosh, I'm thinking about this person. You know what? I'm going to share it with them. I've done this quite a few times. I'm going to share this. I just have to tell them. So I did. I would, and the people would be like, "Wait, wait." They're like, "No, no, no, no." Like, you're literally taking the words right out of my mouth, and I'd be like, "No, no, 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 no. That's my words. Those are my words. You were getting my message." No. Well, who sent the message first? I don't know. I don't know. I still get to feel it like it's mine, so I just take it like that. But so pay attention. Like if you get really strong feelings for a moment, and you suddenly it's like, oh man, I just really think this thing. Like try reaching out to people. Or try sending thoughts and feelings to people, to loved ones, and see if they respond to you. I've done that a lot before too. I've been able to clearly send people direct messages, just like, could you please do this? Like I do it a lot. I do it a lot. Actually. Could you please just respond to this? Like could you please just, maybe this, or just really telling people like, man, you are just so amazing. I just saw you do this thing. I try to look for it. I try to look for the good in people, and then I try to send them the thoughts of those good things that I see in them. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. You'd be surprised how people really do respond. And so, yeah. Anyway, that's what I have to say about telepathy. I think that's all I have to say about the telepathy part. Is it? Um, I guess the other thing I would want to say is people going into the astral. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is that really? What does that even mean? I just like, I don't even understand. And I think that, honestly, for me, I think that what going into the astrals looks like is it looks like your imagination. It's what it's going to feel like. It's going to feel like you're just imagining things, but you're not. You're not just imagining things, not all the time. Not when you start to recognize the different frequency, the way it feels inside certain places as opposed to others. And a lot of times, too, it's like you're pulling it in. You're like, okay, what is this going to look like? And you pull it in, and then it starts to unfold. And how real it is, I feel like, depends on um, how the more real it feels, the more I feel like it is a real thing. Is what it is. And I've been able to confirm that with people. Like, okay, so when I do this, and sometimes you know what happens. Sometimes when you do that type of thing, it winds up in people's dreams. I've had that happen before too. And I did ask to be a master of the dream space, so I'm not surprised by it anymore at this point. Like, yep, get a dream about me. It's possible. I could have been thinking about you. I don't know. So you can always tell me though. Come and ask me. I don't mind. I'll tell you the truth. So anyway, let's keep going. All right. The other thing I wanted to talk to everyone about today is what am I going to do? Yeah. Okay. So actually, if you want to listen more, you're going to have to go over to my YouTube because I'm actually going to stop this portion of it on Instagram Live. Okay. We're going to get actually into organic sexuality and that how people just have gotten, because the reason I'm bringing this up is because I've been in quite a few live streams lately where these sex chat bots keep showing up in you know, the little chats, and we're like, what the hell? And then I had a friend, a really good friend, and she's probably somewhere in one of these chats here. And she had a dream about something similar, having to do with these like robots turning people into like sex droids and stuff like that. I can't remember exactly how she put it right at the moment. But anyway, I'm going to go over there and talk on the YouTube about that. So if you want to, come over there, come over there. Okay? All right, I'm leaving. I'm leaving this one. Okay. We'll go ahead and we'll share that in a minute. So anyway, hello everyone on YouTube. We're going to keep going now. So here's where it's going to get really weird again. So when I first agreed to my soul braid and agreed to become one with the being at the end of my bed, that said it would help me heal my heart. It would help me be a better example for my daughter, because that's really what it was about for me. Is just that I couldn't go on another day knowing that these children needed a good example of how to behave in the world and how to have a good life, and I needed someone to help me do that. And that was what they really came to help me with, and they really did. And so when I first agreed to become one with them, like I said, they took me to my deepest, darkest childhood memory, and my heart broke open. And then after that, I slowly started coming into this awareness that I was not the same person anymore. The person that was in this body before me was not exactly the same person anymore. And now I had to come to terms with being pregnant in this new body. I'm not joking, you guys. It was the conversations I started having with myself in my head. This is what made me feel like I could never share this with anyone else. Like, this is just too weird, too confusing. Like, how do you explain this to people that this is what's happening in you? Well, I'm just gonna tell you, and you can take it for what it is. Okay. So when I first got into this body, I came consciously aware of it, because now it's like there are two people here. Like, I still have access to everything that was Cassandra beforehand, but it's just completely new. It's a completely new person at the same time. So I got into this body, and I'm pregnant, and I'm just like, oh my God, like, what is this? You know, like, what? And so my guides, they sat there and they explained to me, you know, well, this is what happens. Humans, they do these things, and you're gonna have a baby. You know, I'm like, what? I was really like a child again. My mentality, my mind was just like, oh no, no, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing that. I was like, okay, and this is what I told them. I said, you know, that I need to have a meeting with whatever entity thought that human beings should have to fit together like that, because that is just disgusting, and I am never doing that. I was like, I'm never doing that, and they're laughing at me. You know, they're laughing at me over there. And I'm just like, I don't know what's so funny, you know, and that's not happening. I don't know what's happening. And they said, well, you know, girl, you are in the body of a woman with 5 children, and you're pregnant with your 6th. And I'm like, oh God. And they're like, you need to go ahead and check the memories, because, girl, you've done it. You've done it a lot. Oh no! Oh God! Oh God! I said, I'm just taking you raw right there with that moment. I was so upset. I was just like, no, you guys can't tell me what to do. That's really been the approach that I've taken with a lot of things that they try to tell me is going to happen and I'm going to do. And I was like, no, I don't see how that could be possible. So no, count me out. But you know, as time went on, I figured out, you know, the main reason for this was because of all the damaged and traumatized parts of Cassandra before. We had to take her back to that part, and she had to grow up again. She had to learn all over again. Like, this is a natural progression for humans to want to be together in these ways, and it's a beautiful thing. It can be a beautiful thing. You know, it's just sad because it's just been so distorted and so downgraded. And that was what really disappointed me with the whole idea of it, was just like, oh my gosh, you know, people, you know, are they even doing it for the right reason? Like, what is the right reason? I don't know. But So yeah, it took a long time for me to get really comfortable with that, but I did. And so there were things. This is where it's going to get embarrassing for me, but I'm going there for people. I'm really going to do it. So as I did start to come into my own of this, because it took, this was like 5 years ago now, almost 6 years ago. Okay, after a couple years into it, I did start to get like curious. Like, well, why do humans really want to do that type of thing? But all I had to fall back on was the old programming that was left behind, from the standard before me. And so, like what pornography, that's our option. Is we got free porn now on the internet. Like shit, back in the day, back back when I can remember. Okay, I have a memory of like the TVs where you have the cable box, and they had the one or two dirty channels, and you turn to it, you like see it all jagged, and you're like, oh shit, oh my god, what's that? Is that a boob? Like that. Like, so that's what I'm just like, wow, how do we travel from that, okay, to you can type in just a few wrong words on Google and it's going to pull up the most horrendous things possible, like just things that are not natural, that don't seem natural, And so I really became curious as to how that happens, why that happens for people. Part of what I do is I kind of gathering evidence and stuff right now still about that, about how things like that get formed, and I'm going to go over that with people eventually. But anyway, to get back to the point, so it's like, okay, so there was still a lot of fixing up that needed to happen in this vessel. Okay, there was this programming, the heart had needed to come back on. Okay, like there was all this just reversal stuff going on all up in the chakras, all up in the root chakra, and I could notice it. Okay, now this is where it's going to get embarrassing. Okay, I could notice it. What I'm going to do? I'm going to call it running sexual energies. When I was running sexual energies through my body to figure out how does this actually work, okay? And all I had, okay, was a clip of porn. I don't listen. I don't watch porn anymore, and I don't get down on people who do. Okay, like to each their own. Okay, but this is what I've discovered for me. So if you are coming across any of these things, then maybe this will help you too. Okay, because what I discovered, and maybe if anyone else who has been on camera or done lives before, maybe they can back me up on this too. But I noticed an energy draw off of me the second I turn that camera on. I don't know. I feel like it's opening like a portal to my space here with me, like so that everyone can be here with me a little bit, kind of leaves that open. So if it does that for just live streams and stuff like that, it's doing that when people are doing these videos, okay? And what you're doing is you're going to these spaces, okay? And you don't know what kind of spiritual, mostly it's not a spiritual, emotional, mental, healthy thing, okay? These websites and stuff like that. So this is what happened to me though. So I was watching a little clip of something, and I reached climax, okay? And I literally, in my mind's eye, I could see it, I could feel it. It didn't even get to finish the energies, and there was some entity or being over here to my left, and it was just like, oh my gosh, it was like it looked pretty hideous. It had an open mouth, like with these little things coming off of it, and just a hole right here. It was kind of like naked looking, and it literally took my sexual energy from me. It took the rest of it. Like it was like it was so hungry, it was so starving for what it was that I was doing, that it couldn't even wait for me to finish. And it was like, take that. And oh man, was I pissed. I was like, oh no, 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 no. I was like, oh, let's be sure that I'm going to find you, and I am going to kill you. I'm going to find you, entity. I'm going to kill you. You are not going to be doing that to anyone else ever again. Okay? So that's the first thing I noticed, all right, about pornography. And it's one of the reasons why I personally stopped. Okay? Besides the fact that I also had this dream, and it got confirmed for me through someone else, another friend of mine, I found out that they had been doing a mission where they were going to see what was going on with these porn websites because they said they were seeing them connected to this black box technology. And I had actually just had a dream where I was in this dark room, okay, and there was this black box on the floor, and I was going towards it. It was like I was going towards it like it was a bomb, okay, and I'm slowly getting up towards this box. I'm supposed to, like, there's these cords around it, so I'm like going to try and take these cords off, and I accidentally touched the box in the wrong way, and it popped open, and all of these spider beings, just all these spiders, these little spiders, just all came and got on me, some of them, and I was like, oh God, like horrible. And so that is what she was describing, this black box technology that was attached to porn sites. That's what it looked like, and it had these spiders inside of it and stuff like that. These things that attach to you, they get to you through the open channel that is created when you are consciously viewing these things. So it's a problem. Oh wow, it's a problem, guys. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. So you've got to be careful. You don't know who's making that stuff. It's like I'm not saying no porn. I'm saying, like, it needs to be redone. It needs to be something that's more healthy and organic. It is literally, I can't tell you how many men, okay, that I personally come across that are struggling with the whole addiction to it, and how it literally robs their ability to even enjoy being with a woman when they get the actual chance to be with a real woman. Because it's just the way the brain works, and that they take advantage of how the human brain works, and they start to make it more insidious, with the titles and just the actual scripts of what's going on here and things of that nature, and they're literally trying to, and they are successfully training the brain to only be aroused by things that are just not organic, and they're just not natural, for the human, a healthy human. Okay. Oh yeah. And so let's get back to what we're saying about that, though. So for me, what I did, okay, and if anyone can, I ended up taking a, well, no, let me get back to one other point real quick first. So for me, those programs were still in existence. There were things in me that did not seem natural, things that would arouse me, that I was just like, like that, I can never tell someone else that, like I can never tell someone else that type of thing, and I'm sure that other people carry that stuff with them too, because they do it on purpose. They do it to make, they want you to feel shame about your sexuality. That is a big one, because that is what creative energy feels like. It feels like sexual energy, and so they want you to shame it, and they want to keep it locked down, because if you could actually start unlocking the fact that you are God beings on earth, and actually take control and authority over your own creatorship, and not letting these other entities and things attach and take off with your sexual energy, because that's the other thing I noticed. That was the other thing. We can get to those two things now. Okay, so there were things in me that I just did not feel natural about, and then I also noticed too that well, I guess that will come after the point of me saying this part. So I ended up taking a sexual womb healing container with another one with the healer, and after that container, and that's why I highly recommend her. That's why I know that when she says stuff like, she's a self-healing guide, and she's here to, her frequencies and stuff, her sound healing chambers, they literally are like a car wash for your being. Okay, they're literally a car wash. I highly recommend her if you get a chance to listen to any of those, her sound chambers, if you're ever needing stuff, just to feel like you need to get some stuff off of you. So I went into this sexual creation womb healing container of hers, and I came out of that completely changed. I came out of that, and those old programs, they no longer work. And I was like, wow, like, this is very interesting. This is a new feeling. This is a clean, crisp feeling, But now I was left to discover, like, well, what does normal, organic human sexuality, what does that even look like? What would that even look like? Like, and that's it's been kind of the journey that I've been on since then, a little bit. And so, what was the other point? The other point was about the entities, right? Give me 1 second, guys. Pulling it together again. Yeah, I remember now. Because after this container, I also noticed something else different, okay, which was the way my sexual energy flowed inside my actual physical vessel, as opposed to what it used to do, like during the incident with the porn and the entity coming and taking my sexual energy. My orgasms changed. They literally changed. They used to kind of just drain out of me, just kind of like go downward and out, and sometimes a lot of times just maybe even feel like, oh, well, that was let down, type of experience, not feeling fulfilled in other things that you would think someone would feel after experiencing that kind of love with yourself. Okay. And after the healing container and the programming kind of fell away, well, so did the quality of the orgasms. They intensified, and now they went up. And I'm just telling you guys what it felt like, even though it's so personal. But I really want to help people here. I know this is an uncomfortable topic, and I've had to get really used to it. They've really driven me home on that one. Get fucking used to it, basically. I'm like, okay. So the quality of them changed, and so if that's not a driving force for some of you, I know some of you out there got to be wanting to change that up a little bit. Okay, who doesn't want to experience the heightened sensations of pleasure and joy that can be experienced inside the human vessel? Because I know that that's how God's love feels when it flows through you. When it flows through you the way it's supposed to. Okay, there shouldn't be any blocks in it coming. Like, the only reason I'm going up like this is because I realized that there are certain places that I can still see blocks in from my own body, that I know that I need to figure out what that is and learn to let it go, because I'm trying to be as much of God's love and joy on this planet as possible, so that I can help other people get to that frequency as well, because we can help lift each other up. We can help lift each other up. Okay, so I see a lot of people over there in the chat now. I'm glad everyone's over there. I hope you're all having a good time as I sit here and pour my soul out to the cosmos again. So that's what I really wanted to say about all that. And now, well, the more I uncover, the more I'll end up sharing with everyone here. I guess there's really only one other thing that I can think to get back on real quick, and that would be the human heart and how it works like a bell again. Okay, like finding the things that are going to help shift your heart into joy is just so very important. The bell, it's like, especially with your words and the things that you say to yourself, I like to think of it as like those prayer wheels in India. The prayer bell wheels that you just spin them, and that's what's supposed to send out the prayers so many times. Okay, well, the things you say to yourself, the thoughts that you have, those are the words that go around the prayer wheel. When you actually get your heart going the way it's supposed to, what will you write? What will you write on your prayer wheel? Is it going to be things that are harsh and cruel about, or pessimistic about yourself or the world, and oh, I don't have this thing I want right now, and I want it, like things like that? No. If you find things to feel gratitude about, you should write those things, and you should think about those things often. You should let that ring in your heart often, because that's really the thing that transforms. It's the frequency. It's the thing that transmutes the density. It's going to transmute the darkness, even for each other. And God just told me that they just drove this home one time. I was in my living room in my old house, and I was thinking about. They were trying to tell me, like, don't you get what you do? Don't you get who you are? I'm just like, I don't know what I am. What are you talking about? And they're just like, don't you get that every fear you have inside of you is a density that God's love cannot flow through properly? They're like, don't you realize if you just let that go, that you will be so amazing? Like, because you already are. You already are that amazing thing. The only thing holding you back is your fear that you're not. You know? And I think that's true for all of us. The only thing holding you back is your fear that you're not as amazing as you are, just naturally. You already are those things. All right, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to pick up my computer and see if I can read the chat for a second here. Oh, you guys get to see all my little stickers. Oh, great. Okay, who we got in here? Oh, we got Miss Liz. Hey, girl. We got Dylan. We got Greg. Nice, nice. Nice to see you guys. Thanks for coming. Oh, we got Chris P. Nice to see you. Let's see. Oh, Cosmic Origins. Hi. Oh, it's so nice to see you guys here with me. I've been having so much fun here. I've really been enjoying this whole deal. So yeah, is there anything else that I want to say before I go? Okay. I don't think there's anything more for today. I mean, there's always going to be okay. There's more stuff I'm going to talk about, but I don't think there's anything else that I want to talk about today. Okay. Unless anyone has any questions, I guess I could let people ask questions. I don't have to be afraid of that. I can answer human questions. I'm good about it. Let's do it. Anyone have any questions? If you don't, that's okay too. Don't worry about it. Hi. Hope you're all having a great day out there. So I hope I didn't trigger too many people, anyone now and in the future watching this. You know, like I care about you, and I want to see you guys happy. I want to see you guys healthy. Mm-hmm. Oh, hey girl. Hey Alexis. Nice to see you. How's everyone doing today? I'm in Michigan right now. That's where I'm at. Mm-hmm. Stay in that murder mitten. Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you, Miss Liz. So sweet. I just really don't want people to feel alone in this. I don't want people to feel like they can't talk about these things. Oh, that's all right, Alexis. You can go back and watch all the embarrassment. It'll be fine. It's still gonna be there. So I'm gonna keep doing it too. They're determined. They literally do not stop talking to me about doing these things every day, every day. Oh boy, what have I got myself into now? I opened the dam. Yeah. So yeah, if there's anything else, I guess I'm going to end the live stream. We shall see. All right. I love you guys. All right. I'm going to go. I'm going to take care of some things. This was a short one, but we'll be back soon for some more fun. All right. Stay safe out there. I love you guys. Bye.